Thanks everyone for joining us today for our next session in the Elevate series. Today's topic is leveraging AI and ML to drive tangible business value. I'm Mary Christensen, the Director of Product Marketing, and with me today is Nathan Shin. Nathan's one of the co-founders of BillingPlatform, and he's our Chief Strategy Officer. For those of you who are new to the Elevate series, Nathan has over 20 years of experience in high-volume enterprise information systems. He's the mastermind behind the product and platform, and now he's leading the charge of the company's AI initiatives. Thanks for being with us today, Nathan.
Glad to be here, Mary. Thank you.
So let's jump right in. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. AI is everywhere. But to level set, I pulled this definition from Encyclopedia Britannica. Artificial intelligence is the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. So what does that really mean? I guess if you look at these predictions on the slide, you can see it's pretty clear that AI is bound to reshape companies and redefine the way businesses operate. In fact, with its ability to analyze large amounts of data, derive meaningful insights, automate complex tasks, and create new content, AI can become the cornerstone for innovation and efficiency. And businesses that take advantage of the power of AI are not only gaining a competitive edge, but they're also unlocking new possibilities in customer engagement, product development, and strategic decision-making. But you don't want to hear from me on all of this, so let's bring Nathan into the conversation. Nathan, you've done a ton of research in this area. Can you tell our listeners what you see as some of the possibilities that can come for a business if they were to add AI?
Yeah, well, I mean, really, we're experiencing AI prolifically today in a number of different areas, and it's only growing. AI kind of accelerates the speed of progress because it really reduces the actual learning curve or the time to manually implement certain innovations. So when we're talking about this, we're not talking about things in the future. We're talking about things that are happening right now. So everybody, I think, viewing this has interfaced with speech recognition software. Those are based on large language models that artificial intelligence algorithm is trained against, and seems to, or presents as though it's understanding what you're saying, and to an extent, it is. It's based on predictions about what it is that you might mean, or extrapolating, a large database of meanings. The same thing goes for language translation. You use this in Google if you want to translate anything, from or to English, which is what we're speaking right now. You've interfaced with this. Predictive modeling, it's a very popular area for machine learning against large data sets that have business data involved. So you can do things like, look at customer interactions with customer service or payment activity to predict churn, employee turnover. Banks use it all the time for fraud detection. There's a lot of use for machine learning and AI in predictive modeling. And to an extent, a lot of AI is based on learning and predicting certain outcomes for different scenarios, not just something that's along the lines of data analytics. So for analyzing data, there's a lot of possibilities that we already experience with, I want to say, normal type of data analytics tools. But the difference between analyzing data and looking at things like reports and charts and graphs and AI is that when you're analyzing the data, you're actually doing the work of extrapolating meaning from it. When you incorporate AI into it, AI is just giving you the answers, telling you what the meaning is, and this ties back to predictive analytics, to just provide you with an answer based on analyzing that that data. Security is a big use for AI. We've been using facial recognition software for security systems for a long time now. Cyber threats, biometric authentication has been around for a very long time. Image recognition, if you think about information, you typically think about text as information, but image recognition, there is a ton of information in an image. So, I mean, it's how we understand the world if we have sight. And so image recognition is being used heavily for things like self-driving cars, robotics, analyzing images to just kind of understand where something is, so that a robotic arm could, for example, in manufacturing, can pick something up and put it in the right spot. Gestures, tracking facial expressions, those kinds of things are more advanced applications of really the image data and how that maps to other information and other predictions about what the meaning of that might be. It's pretty interesting stuff. We have artificial intelligence that's used in very practical terms for predictive analytics and stuff like that. But what is generative AI? Really, at the end of the day, generative AI, generative means it's generating things. It's generating content, it's generating images, it can generate video content. All of this is happening right now. But what we're going to look at today, since we're a software company, we're going to look at how generative AI can generate program functionality, business functionality. And more specifically, we're going to look at how generative AI can be leveraged to take advantage of how BillingPlatform's model operates in a very easy and profound way, leveraging what we call metadata. And that's really information about how the system is structured, configured, and everything about the system in terms of how it operates and works. In a GenAI scenario applied to BillingPlatform, we could leverage the metadata about the data model to eliminate the need to write a report, for example, to give you information back about the business data. So, for example, you could say, show me all the accounts with a balance greater than 30 days in natural terms, in your own language. It doesn't even have to be English. And so what the artificial intelligence algorithm trained against our metadata, meaning it understands the table structure so that you don't have to, what it'll do is it will return those results. So it will take your spoken query or your spoken question and interpret that as a machine-oriented type of query, which is called SQL, against a data model that's defined in our metadata, and then return to you the answer to that question. So it then again, it leverages that metadata architecture as a learning source that it trains against to understand how what you're asking it translates into something a machine can understand and give you an answer that you can understand. Then taking it a little bit further, since we have everything described in that same metadata, we can train, the AI can be trained up against how to configure different things that are on an automation level, like workflow. So you may say, show me all of the accounts that are 30 with a balance greater than 30 days past due. But you may want to also send an email to those accounts. Well, in BillingPlatform, you can go in and point, click, and configure if you understand the system. And you can actually do this without having to write any code. But because you can do this, now an AI can do this as well. So you can ask it just with your own natural language, I'd like to do something with this data that you've returned to me. So in this case, I'd like to send all of these accounts an email. And we all know that GenAI, if anybody's interfaced with ChatGPT, we all know how good GenAI is at creating content with meaning. And so it can assist you in creating your email template with placeholders for the specific customer name, et cetera. That leverages also the metadata. So large language models coming together with metadata, learning model or training model to produce real business value here. When you have a system, and you have a highly configurable system like we do here at BillingPlatform, you can configure a lot of things for your end users, but you may not always get it right because you haven't had the benefit of really learning how they do their day to day and they work on the system. And as part of a continuous improvement of the system, those capabilities might not be leveraged by the end user because they simply just don't know they're there. One of the really cool things that we can do with generative AI and learning against our model is to analyze the user's behavior. So let's say, the user is clicking on, searching for accounts, clicking on an account, then looking at the account and wanting to understand what their payment history is or their invoice history is, going to a different part of the app because of the configuration that they have, looking up those invoices based on the account, doing a search, coming back, filtering, sorting, looking for invoices that have this past due balance or whatever task they want to operate on, and then going back to the account, writing an email, whatever, right? Based on this analysis of clicks or the data that we capture about the user's navigation and clicks and everything else, an AI can understand that and also the capabilities of the system in the form of the metadata and suggest a better layout. So in this case, you might say, hey, why don't we take all of these invoices and payments and put those on the account so that you don't have to click anywhere. All you have to do is scroll down and look at the account's payment and invoice history and have all of that information at your fingertips. So the AI then makes this suggestion, of course, to the end user, and the user can accept this layout change or not. Very powerful. We've seen this a lot of times where the user just doesn't even know what the capabilities are in the application. They feel as though they might be limited to what they have out of the box. So another really nice application of AI with regard to application configuration and ease of use. So really, what does this mean for you? We've been speaking in billing platform terms, talking about how we can optimize your experience in the application, but really in general terms, what AI does, and I know that there's a lot of fear around AI, like eliminating jobs and automating away certain roles and responsibilities, and that's true. But the real winners in the new world of AI are those that really take advantage of it and use it and leverage it to their benefit. Because really, what it does for you, and this is what software has been doing, for years, is it helps you to become more creative, meaning it shortens the point between and the learning curve between actually getting the skills to make something happen and your idea. So it helps you to become more efficient and more creative. You can accomplish much more in much less time now. So you can be much more productive so that your ideas can come to life almost instantly. And so what does that help you to focus on? Being more strategic. So now it's not about learning how to do a particular thing. You're not bogged down in all those details. It's more about understanding that the how can be taken care of. And so you can focus on what is most strategic, what is most beneficial. So it really can open up much more ideas because you're not thinking on lower level terms of implementation. You're allowed to be at a more strategic level so that you can have more creative ideas at a more strategic level. And it's all happening right now. I mean, AI is not something that's a future thing. You're interacting with artificial intelligence and leveraging it in your day-to-day life, and you may not even know this.
Thanks, Nathan. Those are really great examples of some real uses of AI, and clearly the possibilities are endless. So appreciate your time. And for those of you out there who would like to learn more about AI and how it can help your business, or if you have any questions about what Nathan talked about today, please contact us. With that, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you at a future Elevate Series webinar. Have a good day.